You know, if you lose a trade in space, it doesn't count because nobody can hear your screams.
Good thing I don't lose.
Frank. We're not lost, are we?
According to the spinning thing in front of me, I have no idea.
What was that?
Sorry, I just got an EDGEFINDER alert on my Discord.
Wow, nice add-on.
I think my helmet's too tight, or maybe my head is just too big.
Oh, it looks like we've got an incoming transmission.
Remember guys, we're doing our big Black Friday sale this month. Check out the links in our bio for more information.
Roger that, Julie.
Okay, I'm starting to think we might be lost.
Maybe James could help us with directions.
I think he accidentally blasted himself out of the airlock.
Again?
Let's go get him. Man, I've been playing too much Starfield. This feels kind of real. I really don't understand why we're looking for this planet.
Frank, it's because someone told us that there's this planet out there where traders can get funded up to $200,000 in simulated trading accounts. And if you pass, you get the chance to get all your money back. It's really kind of a trader's paradise.
Traders have been searching the stars for a place like this, and it's just too good to be true.
Frank, you just gotta believe. Once you get there, they'll give you 15% off any examination with promo code A1Trading15.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
All right, Frank, take us out of hyperspace.
Coming out of hyperspace. Now. That's FX2.
That's it. That's FX2. The legends are true. It is as good as they say.
Wow, this is incredible. There's a big giant sign that's got a promo code at the front that says A1 Trading 15 for 15% off.
We finally made it to FX2. Get your discounted access to their trading accounts right now. Link and promo code down below in the description and in the chat right now.
Can you repeat all of that once again?
No.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another live stream. Thank you for being here for Unemployment Claims Day. We've got some potentially market-moving news ahead of us, and this is coming after a string of what has been market-moving news. This week has definitely delivered in the volatility department in terms of the currency world, indices, commodities. I mean, everything has been moving leaps and bounds. And in this video or in this stream, you guys know how this goes. We usually go through charts, we bring in guests, we cover what's going on in the news, and we are here to try and bring some more value each and every day to the trading community. As I kick off this stream, if you could do me a favor and our show hosts here that are behind the scenes, if you guys could just hit that thumbs up button, it would mean a lot to helping out the stream here today. So taking a look at what we have on the report card, we've got unemployment claims coming out at 8:30 a.m. U.S. Eastern. Now, in terms of actual versus forecast, this is where it's going to come into play. We are expecting to see a slight tick up from the previous report of previously we saw 217,000 filings or claims of unemployment. Now we are expecting to see 221K. So today we're going to be getting that number, which currently is still a question mark. We'll see that in about 10 minutes. So in terms of how we prepare for this, let me just run this through with you guys really quick. If you're somebody who's watching US dollar denominated anything, gold, currencies, majors, right? Whatever you're looking at, any of these guys, the currency market, gold market indices, whatever. The dollar will likely strengthen if this number comes out lower than expected, meaning less people are filing for unemployment and jobs are really strong. Now, if you get more people filing for unemployment than expected, then the dollar would probably decline. Okay, there's your fundamental analysis education for your day. If you are newer to this stuff, write that down. Remember that. Take notes if you want, whatever you want, doesn't matter. But the point is, unemployment claims being higher than expected, more people filing for unemployment, that shows weakness in the jobs department. So that's where we're getting a little bit of a read of the tea leaves today in terms of the labor market here in the United States. So let's go take a closer look at the dollar index in terms of the price action chart. Now, here's a daily candle view of the DXY. This is, of course, the dollar currency index, which, if you're not familiar how this works, the dollar currency index, it basically compares the US dollar with a whole basket of other currencies. One of the biggest ones in there is comparing it against, for example, the euro and the pound and the yen and some other ones. But the point was showing you this chart, and why this chart matters so much is because dollar strength or dollar weakness in its sole being can tell you a lot about market sentiment. And it's why I start my analysis pretty much every day with the dollar index. And again, I trade a lot of indices, gold, currencies. I trade a wide range of things, but the dollar is really where I start my analysis. Okay, so the dollar came up. It crept back up after the NFP number last week. Was it last week? Yeah, it was. 2 weeks ago. Am I missing I'm just starting to go crazy, guys. We had NFP jobs dropped. It was 2 weeks ago because it was a Friday, right? So anyways, price rallied back up to this resistance and boom, we got the drop on CPI. The dollar looks really weak, and in my opinion, this new pattern that's emerging could actually be set to continue. What I mean by that is we may see another pullback, guys. The dollar index may even rise today. It's probably due to rise just a little bit. Now, does that mean I'm going long? No, we do not. We trade fundamentals here. Now, if you do not know what fundamentals are, if you do not care about the news, if you avoid news, then my portion of the show is probably not for you, because I talk within the realm of fundamentals. Why? Fundamentals are the macro drivers of the market. The market does not move based on purely chart patterns and support and resistance. Though I love those things myself, I'm not discrediting that they can be useful in your analysis. I'm saying that that's not what moves the market. The market moves based on economies. It moves based on stimulus or lack thereof from the Federal Reserve, from the European Central Bank. Those are the biggest drivers or macro drivers that push the market around. So when we talk about the dollar index and I say, we had a smash hit victory, then you'll recall, if you've been watching my streams and videos, we've been dollar bearish for a little bit now, and it's worked out beautifully, right? We've been bearish on the dollar and bullish on stock indices. My trade S&P, as to my best of my knowledge, I'm still long. Yep, still in trade. And I've been riding this thing since November 1st. This was a dollar bearish play at its core, thinking that inflation could start to continue to come down. Seasonally, we see strength in the stock market during the month of November. And I'm still in this trade. This thing has become a massive, massive runner. And I say that lightly because I'm not trying to just come across arrogant, because let me just be completely honest. October, horrible. I was long NASDAQ for most of October. And on my streams and videos, I look like a fool. So I'm not trying to just show you the highlight moments of my trading, because I show my every day in the streams. It shows I show you guys my live brokerage account and my statements and all that stuff. So my point with this is that we got it right this month, and it makes a lot of sense why we did. Seasonally, it's strong. You have a US dollar that's dropping, and it's contributing largely to this massive move up. Now, again, I made this point yesterday, guys, but yields are what, if you're a dollar trader, always keep an eye on the 2-year and the 10-year yield. It's going to make a lot of things more clear to you. If you don't even know what these charts are, then buckle up. These are really important charts. This shows you the yield that people can get on a US Treasury bond. Now, why does that even matter? Well, the Treasury bond is massive. In fact, it's bigger than the stock market in terms of volume. Now, I know a lot of you guys are forex traders, and that's of course bigger, but that is a little bit different. You always hear people say like, "Oh, forex market's the biggest market ever." Yes, but a ginormous component of that is purely commercial movements through money, right? It's people who are doing business in Europe and in the US, and they have employees in Europe, so they need to convert US dollar to euro. Like, that's not really a ton of speculation. Bonds is a lot more of people parking their money, making some sort of investment decision, right? Stocks are so you have to be careful with that idea that, oh, well, the forex market's the biggest one. It's not everybody trading in there. A massive majority is money just simply moving through the exchange, not necessarily trading. Can you catch some of that? Absolutely, you can. But anyways, my point is, keep an eye on yields. They really matter. If you're watching the dollar index here today, guys, again, with this upcoming number that we have with claims this morning, we're going to probably either see, now again, the likelihood of a huge jump or a huge fall is actually kind of unlikely, because claims do not usually move the market that much unless they really surprise. And usually they're pretty accurate. So there's not a huge amount of like range like you might get with NFP, right? NFP has been all over the place this year, CPI. Those things can have more jumps and drops. But this report is still very, very much important to you guys, because again, when we take a look at this claims number, it's going to help to guide our decisions within, what Frank and I are trading. So we do consider claims. We're 2 minutes and 40 seconds out. Now, if you don't know who Frank is, he's my trading partner here at A1 Trading. We've been trading together for a long time, and inside of the Discord group, let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. We share all of our trades. So just a heads up, we will be trading there today. If you guys are already members with us, then here is the Discord. So again, there's like my index trade, the S&P trade. I've got some forex trades I can talk about with you guys here shortly. I went long Aussie yen. We got to cover that one as well. And again, we are just coming into the news pretty soon. So let me go ahead and get our charts prepped here a little bit. Now, again, this is claims. So the amount of volatility we're going to get is very much TBD. Okay. So I'm going to put my S&P trade on the top left. If you guys want to watch my trade potentially move or potentially not move, again, we'll see how that goes. We're going to put gold in the bottom left, and let's see, bottom right, we'll put euro. I think that's fine. And in the top right, let's go just with the dollar index. Okay. Okay, all of these are 15-minute charts, by the way, guys. Let's actually do 15-minute charts up top here as well. And so we've got about a minute to go here before the news hits. Let me just ask you, by the way, guys, just a heads up, we do these streams for major economic news all the time. If you want to learn more about fundamentals, if your eyes are being opened to the idea that the markets are not just squiggly lines and support and resistance, if you want to get into the real stuff that the markets, I want to ask you real quick, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. Of course, we go through a ton of stuff on this show all the time to cover everything. We bring on guests. I think we've got Miko and Marco, I believe, are coming on here today to do some more technical-based analysis to follow the fundamentals that I do here. So stick around for that. We'll be doing some fun stuff there. And again, we're coming into the news. So we got about 40 seconds here to go before we get that claims data. Again, unless there's a surprising number, I'm not actually expecting very much of a move. So just a heads up, I know people will sometimes look at this and be like, oh my gosh, it's going to spike huge. Fundamentally, not usually the case. Rare exceptions where you'll get big moves on unemployment claims. That's only if there's a big surprise. So we'll see what the surprise is, if there is one, or if we're coming out as expected. We're coming in with breaking news right now. Check it out. All right. And claims should be coming out here in just a second. All right. S&P not moving too much. Gold slightly up. Euro dollar up. Dollar index down slightly. Gold slightly up. Again, gold trading trying to break into the 1970s. There you go. 1970 coming into play. Euro trading up a little bit. S&P not moving too much. Dollar index down. Let's take a look at the number and see what we got. The Philly Fed manufacturing came in better than expected. Interesting. And still pending on the unemployment. There it is, 231,000 unemployment claims. That is going to be higher than what is expected. And the way to read this would be, in some ways, slightly dollar bearish, at least in my opinion. Why? It's not a massive, change. It's not a massive surprise, but this does show more people filing for unemployment than what was forecasted. And so we're seeing a little bit of dollar give back here this morning. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense there in terms of the fundamental side of things. Again, in terms of my S&P trade, pretty unchanged here. Still riding this one. And again, this is going on day 16 of this trade. Now, if you know my style, then you know my best trades take the longest to play out because of the nature of my trailing stop approach. If this thing wants to keep going, right? If the S&P rallies again, then it just means I trail stops, and this trade could go for a month. In fact, I would love to have my longest trade ever in this momentum strategy that I trade. That would just mean it's probably one of my biggest trades ever. So we'll see if that can hold out. But we are still holding on to this S&P trade. Did you take the GBP CAD trade? Yes. Let's talk about some trades that I am looking at. Okay, let's do this. So I actually have a couple trades on as far as I know. I haven't even checked. So Aussie yen, I'm still in. Stops are trailed on Australian dollar against Japanese yen. This is a trade signal that I shared not yesterday, a couple days back on this one. We've got two runners, by the way, right now. We've got the S&P running, and we've got the Australian dollar Japanese yen trade, which was, again, this was shared initially, I believe it was November 10th. Man, I've got some swing trades going on right now. My trades are usually not that long. Like usually I would say my average hold time is probably like 2 to 3 days. But when you get these runners and they just stay in the account holding on, I mean, I can't complain, right? I guess if patience is all I have to do right now to let these trades continue to run, that's great. Now let's see how pound CAD is doing, because I have a feeling this one's not going as well. Pound CAD, I might have stopped out actually. I haven't even checked. I was a little late to the party here today. No, we did not. Look at this. We got another runner. Okay, so we've got 3 runners going. We will take that. I hadn't even checked pound CAD. I knew Australian dollar, Japanese yen was doing okay. I had trailed that one already, but we've got 3 runners going in the VIP right now. That's just on my side. We could spy on Frank. Let's go see if how's Frank doing? Frank was trading. He stopped out of AU. He's still got the S&P long as well. He's long, so he's got a runner here, 1 loss on AU, and I've got 2 forex trades that are profitable right now, and 1 index trade that is still running hot. So it's been a really good month. We've just been on a hot streak. And I think, as long as we stay right in our bias about risk on, which is generally how we're positioning, we should be able to continue that. We'll see. Of course, markets can change. Let me just give you guys a heads up. If you are not already in our VIP group here at A1 Trading, you can sign up for that. There is a link here to, actually, you know what? We'll do this. I don't think anybody is in the office just yet, Chandler, for this. So let's do this. We're just going to share this link here. If you guys want information about the sign up, here you go. Click right here. This is if you want information about the Discord. We do coaching webinars. We have all of our strategies in PDF form for you to download and read through. If you want to learn our strategies in depth, our trailing stop approach, Frank and I kind of have a similar style. We have some slight variations in our approach, but we have definitely some of that going on. So if you'd like to join the VIP, click that link. It is currently our Black Friday sale going on right now. So if you click that link, go to our website, a1trading.com/VIP, and you use code YTVIP. That is the YouTube viewer special. You get 40% off the VIP group there. Okay, so use that link that's in the chat right now. If you're watching at a later point, you can just go to a1trading.com/VIP and learn more. We are currently on a heat streak right now. Frank and I are both doing really well. And not just Frank and I, we had somebody else join the trio officially. Ivan is running hot too. He's in the yen pairs like crazy. I've got my 1 pair Frank's like, or Ivan is like, that's great, but I've got like 17 of them. He's Aussie yen, euro yen, pound yen. He's long on like a bunch of stuff. Oh, he closed some stuff for profits. He took profits on EJ, AJ, and GJ. Congrats to Ivan if you're watching. Dre, what's up? Thank you very much for the $2 donation to the stream. Dre says, hey, Nick, I got gold buys at 1947. Is it gold time? Can we get some gold trains going in the chat, guys? If you're a gold trader, make yourself known. You guys know how this goes. Hold on, I'm doing gold train. Let me put the official gold train starting point right there in the chat. Drop your gold train. Check it out. Jamie says he smashed TP on everything. Yeah, Ivan killed those yen pairs. He had like 15 different yen pairs. I didn't even know there was that many yen pairs. That's how many yen pairs he had. He didn't actually have 15, but I think he had like a genuinely like 4 or 5. It's crazy. Why you took a trade on pound CAD? Risk on, and I'm kind of bearish on oil. So CAD, oil, right? Their economy is majorly based around oil. I'll show you the signal. I'll show you the signal, and we're going to take a look at gold for you, Dre. I appreciate your donation, man. So here is the rationale behind pound CAD. By the way, guys, pull back in an uptrend. So nice upward trend market structure wise. Oil outlook seems bearish due to slowing economic outlook globally. So the economies around the world are seeing some slowdown, and that's okay. It doesn't necessarily mean full outright recession, but markets are probably pricing in a little bit of concern that maybe there is that recession fear somewhere down the line. But regardless of that, there's certainly observable slowdown in economies as you know, all of that interest rate hike stuff kind of makes its way, and we see you know, China, US economies start to slow down. Again, slowdown does not mean end entirely and devastation. It just means slowdown. And slowdown means lack of demand for oil. So I based this trade. It was actually a fundamental FX trade for me. COT data also very much favors pound over CAD. And I can show you guys that on the, let me see. Let's actually go to, it's a minor pair. Again, not something I trade very frequently, but I really liked the setup. Pound yen also getting a really strong bullish setup. So I went in here and I said, okay, what's going on with pound CAD? It's getting a +9. Again, not something I trade that frequently, but when something gets a +9, it catches my attention. I'm saying +9, that's the EDGEFINDER scoring algorithm that considers all different market variables, like the economic numbers, like GDP and PMI and CPI numbers and PMI numbers and interest rates and labor statistics. The EDGEFINDER is a software that automatically pulls in all that data, considers it, and then outputs it using its algorithm. So we have a really bullish reading on pound CAD, and that's why I took the trade. It came to a support level I liked. We had a nice reading, but why the COT data giving us a +3? I'll show you. It's pretty clear once you take a closer look. Okay, so pound COT wise saw a big shift up. Okay, 0.7% bullish move. So institutional money, the latest trades, they bought pound. What about CAD though? Look at CAD. They shorted or they sold, it got rid of, bearish on CAD. Okay, so the point there is that when you compare these two currencies in the COT department, pound looks bullish, CAD got whipped out of shape, right? Got sold. So when you look at that and you say, okay, and then you see retail traders are all shorting it. Well, not all, but 61% of positioning here that we have data on is shorting pound CAD. Again, not a pair that I trade frequently, but when you get a +9, I take a little closer look. And so pound CAD comes into play, and I promise I am coming back to gold, guys. Don't worry. There it goes. It's still going here as we speak. So pound CAD came down to support. We loved the EDGEFINDER confirmation. Nice level of support. Beautiful price action there. Stops below market structure here and at the 61.8, and boom, we're running. Okay. So really, really nice move. But GBP CPI data is weak. Ahmed, you're right, but CPI data kind of everywhere is showing signs of weakness. That doesn't mean that, you know, pound is just going to collapse, right? In fact, pound is getting a nice lift due to the risk on nature of the market right now. Pound has been, you know, it's had its struggles, but again, you have to, when you're trading currency pairs, if you're an FX trader in this room, you have to understand when you trade currencies, you're trading a pair of currencies. So I pointed out I'm bearish oil So CAD, not so hot. And I'm bullish risk on assets. Pound looking pretty good, right? That goes right in line with the idea that I've had on my S&P trade that I've talked about like 1.5 million times on my channel recently. So again, we've got 3 trades on right now, all in profit, and letting that run. By the way, guys, if you want access to the Edge Finder, just a heads up, we are doing our biggest and best discount of the entire year right now. We are currently doing 40% off of the Edge Finder. And if you message in right now, you get actually 45% off. So here's a little heads up. If you want access to the Discord group or you'd like access to the Edge Finder, you can direct message us here using this link here in the chat. Drop it for you. This will take you to a support line where you can speak with a representative on our team. So click this link right here. Boom. And let me just show you what happens when you do that. So again, if you're watching this at a later point too, like I know a lot of people watch these streams back or they come back and watch the rest of them, there will be a link for this in the description, or you can find it on our website as well. It's in the bottom right hand of the screen. If you go on our website, click Black Friday. Again, do not miss these offers. These are the best price discounts of the entire year. And if you're somebody who watches our stream on a regular basis, we appreciate you. And we want to give you those extra special discounts to get you access to our products. I know a lot of people are like fans of the Edge Finder, but they don't have it yet. Get your copy. It's the best time of the year to do so. There it is. And again, it's a one-time fee also. Last thing I'll say, we don't do monthly subscriptions. Like we don't want you to pay us forever. Like support the project, purchase a copy of our software, get your hands on it for a one-time, right now 45% off discounted price, and then it's yours. And then you reap all the benefits of us adding new features and maintaining it for you each and every day. We've got a team of 3 that do all that. So yeah. What's going on with dollar CAD? Dollar CAD, really ugly price action in my opinion. Not really my favorite chart. You had this big move down, big move up, big move down. It's just not really decisively trending one way. So this one's probably a pass for me. If I'm trading a CAD pair, like I said, I've already got my pound CAD position on, and this is clear cut price action. This to me makes a lot of sense. You've got a clean, higher low, higher high. Keep the chart simple, right? Higher high, boom. We started looking for longs, Edge Finder confirmation. There it is. We go long, right? That's the idea that I went off on this. Okay. Look at UJ and free fall. Yeah. What's going on with dollar yen? And again, I'm coming to that gold, I promise. Gold train. I apologize. I faked you out today. I'm coming back to it. Yeah. Dollar yen dropping. Okay. Let's do it. Let's take a look at gold. I apologize for the delay. I know a lot of you guys love your gold. So gold traders, you guys are the craziest, but I love you. So let's take a look. Gold here, impressive. Honestly, very, very impressive to see what we're seeing in terms of price action right now for gold. So we see a breakout, right? This downward structure in the market that just broke out and has seen a little bit of retracement, but buyers stepped in pretty quick. Now, I think you probably, the game plan for gold, in my opinion, is like a rinse and repeat. Like we look for breaks and retests, and we look for the story to persist and continue and do it again, in my opinion. Like I think targets for gold are a move back to 2000. I think that's very reasonable. And if that happens and you really see the dollar continue to really start to trend lower, gold could be due to retest those all-time highs. We've said it many times on the stream, but don't count gold out. The second you think it can't run back to the highs, it does it. So be careful. If you're trying to short this one, again, gold, in my opinion, really hard to short. Not something I do short very often. I have shorted gold a little bit this year, but not recently. I did not short. I was bearish on gold to be transparent with you guys. I was bearish on gold over here, thinking that it would continue lower, but I didn't short gold. And I'm glad that I didn't, because the geopolitics stuff that broke out, I completely avoided shorting gold after that happened, because you just have no idea how you could, if war breaks out, like Ukraine situation or the Middle Eastern conflict that's going on right now. If you look at those things, war will cause gold to just skyrocket. And when you think it's gone too far, it'll skyrocket twice as far, right? That's how powerful geopolitics can come in, because it's a big question mark to markets, and big question marks cause fear. Big fear causes gold to move up. So yeah. Anyways, like I said, gold market structure looks pretty good. I mean, it looks strong. Looks like the path of least resistance is bullish until further notice. So yeah, I think we have. Do we have Miko coming today? Do we have? I can't tell if it's just Marco today. I'll look out for you guys' message if you have information. But I think we might have just Marco coming on to join us here in a minute or so. Again, in terms of gold, the main thing that I'm seeing here is you're seeing a higher low series. You've got a nice overall push to the upside, and we'll keep tabs on this. Okay, Miko should be here. Okay, so Miko's coming too. We're just gonna give him a minute to show up, and then we'll kick our technical Thursdays. And there he is. He just joined. Okay, cool. All right, guys, we're gonna take a quick break. Thank our sponsors. We're coming back to Miko and Marco to do some technical Thursday trading setups with you guys here. So stick around. We're coming right back. Frank, are you really trading right now? We are literally traveling through space.
Yeah, I mean, thanks to 8cap, I can trade at any time and anywhere, even in space. And I get a free EDGEFINDER with it too.
That's pretty cool, but honestly, there are so many other brokers that I think are better.
That's it.
I'm ejecting you.
All right, Frank, let me back in. Come on. I'll sign up for 8cap, I promise.
Don't get lost in space. Trade with 8cap. If you'd like more information about how you can get a free EDGEFINDER, click the link that's in the chat or description to speak with one of our representatives and sign up with 8cap. There's some great free perks available. Check it out down below.
Frank!
All right, guys, you guys heard the good news. Join with 8cap. There's a link down below in the description and in the chat for more details. They've got some great sign-up perks, and they are sponsoring our show, so thank you to them. Miko, Marco, good to have you guys back. It's been a long time since I've seen you, almost like a whole 48 hours.
I know.
Hello.
What's up?
It's good to have you back. So I guess we'll do our normal rounds. Kind of a, not nearly as an explosive day, obviously, as CPI was. But what are you guys kind of watching today? Are there any setups post big news that you're looking at? We'll go to Marco first.
Yep, sure. So I did actually take a trade on EU. I will quickly recap the trade. So it was this flag right here. Basically, yeah, the exact thing that I said. Saw the momentum, saw the flag formation, which is right here, first high, first low, second high, second low. Got in on the NG candle, the blue one, with a 12 pip stop loss, and got taken out for a loss on this one, unfortunately. And there was one other which I was heavily interested in, which was New Zealand Japanese yen, and that one ended up being a huge runner. But unfortunately, I was not tagged in. So it was right here. It was not on the flag. It was on the basically break and retest entry pattern. Had it right on this level of pip stop loss. And yeah, basically missed me by 1 or 2 pips, something like that. And then spread hours was here, so I removed the order, and then it just went flying to the upside. So it is one of those, but definitely the power of the momentum has been demonstrated in this move right here. So I really like to see these moves. They usually bring some really nice trends, as you can see on NJ here. So right now, yeah, it has kind of slowed down. I do expect possibly EU to continue trending up. So we had one leg up. This is the pullback, and then possibly we can get something like this, at which point I will look to buy either on a flag or on a break and a retest. EJ seems ascending, so not much there. AU seems range bound and flat. AJ is range bound and flat, and GU is the same case as EU. So on the pound, I would not be surprised if this is just one big pullback and then we continue trending up, and then I would look to buy. But of course, you need to see this one big leg going up. And the final one is NJ. This is kind of corrective on the top, flat. So yeah, I'm not really touching NJ for now. For me, the dollar pairs are on my watch list currently. But as you said, the move has slowed down. The pairs that wanted to continue, continued. The ones that did not kind of just start ranging around, right?
Yeah, fair enough. And it's interesting. I am actually trading Aussie yen right now. I'll show my screen here for just a second. I've got a
Sure.
trade that's going decently well here on the
Oh,
Australian
that's very
dollar
nice.
Japanese yen. It's kind of cool because, Marco, like I can hear you kind of say like it's range bound on the hourly, which is definitely true. It's kind of gone nowhere for a little bit here. But it's just cool. It's cool because you can get like two different traders who are using two different time frames. Like I trade mostly off of like the 4-hour chart. And so, back here, this was, and actually, it really, I think, was like a daily chart setup for me initially. Like we had this, this really consolidated zone, and price finally broke out with some conviction. We had like several days up in a row, pull back for a few days, and I really liked this zone. So it's kind of interesting just to see different time frames, different perspectives, to kind of shape up the same charts. But yeah, I'm interested in the yen pairs to see if they want to continue, and I guess we'll see. Miko, do you have any thoughts on yen pairs? They've been kind of all the talk of the town recently.
Yeah, I mean, yen pairs are still very, very bullish. I mean, I think Swiss yen's trading at all-time highs. We've got pound yen, euro yen, all at highs we haven't been in for like 5, 6, some 10 years. So everything is very bullish for them. And quite frankly, a lot of them have gone quite fast. So I need to see some hefty pullbacks if I'm going to decide to long any of them. However, there could be some counter trend opportunities for myself, particularly on pound yen. If I can see, let me zoom onto the full page. If I can see price break through this area here, I will look for some counter trend opportunities for the short term, probably for some longer term buy opportunities in the near future. But if pound yen can see a break of this level, because we are starting to form some lower highs here, which is what I like to see. We've got one over there, second, third. So if we can snap through that, I'm interested in some short-term downside. But quite frankly, I'm being a little bit careful because the yen pairs are still very, very, very bullish. And I don't want to be jumping the gun here, but pound yen does fit what I'm looking for. As the JPY, that was still too little bullish for me. Aussie yen still too bullish for me to look for shorts. I need a bigger retracement there to buy as well. CAD yen is seeing a lot of downside at the moment. I don't know if CAD's very weak or CAD must be weak. But CAD yen, this one's kind of a little bit choppy, so I'm kind of staying away from CAD yen. But yeah, some counter trend opportunities for pound yen. Other than that, I'm kind of staying away from the yen pairs at the moment.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, no, thanks for going through that. I think a lot of people are really curious about yen pairs. They've been subject of so many discussions because you have like the Bank of Japan intervention stuff going on. You have technical traders who are loving the momentum, but I think I put out a video yesterday on my channel just talking about how I think like right now we've got a really high level of FOMO in the markets. You've got a lot of markets that have just made these leaps and bounds moves, and a lot of people are probably struggling not to try and chase this. But to your point, Miko, about the idea of got to see a significant pullback, I think that's kind of in some ways, the veteran thing to say, because a lot of people, they'll look at this and they'll be like, I got to get in, I'm going to miss this. And perhaps even forcing trades, like every little dip they're trying to get in because they're like, that's it, that's all I'm going to get. And you got to be really careful because, to your point, I mean, a lot of the kind of people who miss the moves, the smarter, kind of more, patient traders are going to look for deeper discounts. They're going to look for pullbacks, and they're going to let kind of the chasing money get out of the way first. So again, we'll have to see if that actually ends up coming to fruition, because I do have my one yen pair, so I should be thankful that I've got the one. But there were more that I wanted, and this was not a big position for me. So I am very much interested, curious to see what we could get out of yen pairs if they do start to pull back. I've got a stop trailed, so I honestly, as much as I would love for this thing to just keep rocketing higher, it's kind of a nice middle ground for me, because if this does get trailed out, what that probably means is that we could actually start to see more setups, and I'll trail out for a small profit. So I'm kind of okay even if it does happen. But I guess next question, Marco, is you mentioned some dollar pairs. We had a ton of news. We had a ton of volatility. You mentioned euro dollar. Any other dollar pairs, or go back to euro dollar, whatever you'd like. What are you thinking on USD side?
Yeah, so both the EU and GU pair, I believe they have more upside potential. I mean, with this really, really large push up and then the pullback, sure, I'm seeing a bit of selling pressure in a couple of these candles, but not much. So this to me looks like a larger scale pullback and very likely to continue back up. So to break up and then continue with another impulse, possibly start an even bigger uptrend like this. So I would not be surprised if that happens, to be honest. So for EU, more upside. For AU, just a bit flat here. And you can see a definite difference between the rejection of the bearish candles. Like, look at these two, look at these three. So just by gauging momentum, I can see that this pair looks much, much worse than the euro and the US dollar, and it has broken the structure. So for this one, I'm sideways. And then finally, GU, I am seeing not as good as EU because I'm seeing more selling pressure, but still it is within the structure. And I still can see upside potential. So my bias is to the upside.
Okay, fair enough. And if we, I'm very curious. So I'll pass the same question to Miko, and I'm going to ask in the Telegram a poll here to poll our audience about these, because again, I think dollar pairs are really interesting right now. So I'm going to ask the crowd about EU and GU. For those of you guys who are on our Telegram, check out the poll section. I'm going to write that poll up. Miko, I'll give you a turn here. In terms of dollar pairs, favorites, and of course, everybody's going to probably be wondering about that EU, the euro dollar. I'll give you the floor here for a second, and I'll write that poll up.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm actually looking to take a position on ENSD/USD at the moment if I can get the hourly close I'm looking for, which is looking pretty likely in the next 2.5 minutes. So I'll be taking a trade on ENSD/USD long. I'm looking for basically dollar weakness. That's kind of the theme I'm looking at. DXY looks very, very bearish, and I've been looking at potential trades on the dollar pairs, and I've been looking at pound USD. Hasn't quite retraced enough for me. And ENSD/USD has come back into a nice area, and I'm looking to see if I can catch the sort of breakout, although it's on the retest of this area here. And I'm looking at taking on this entry candle, that bullish engulfing, so which is about to close in the next 2 minutes. So I will enter a trade on that candle. But essentially, I'm looking to try and catch a bigger move to the upside here for ENSD/USD. On the higher time frames, we're kind of at the low end of this channel here, so possibly there might be room for a bigger pullback into the highs up here around 0.63. Same thing for Aussie dollar as well. I've noticed, although I prefer ENSD/USD, could be seeing bigger moves up. Euro USD still pretty bullish as well. I'm looking at a retest of this area, but it's nowhere near. Pound USD, I was looking at this area this morning, but yeah, still nowhere near. So ENSD/USD looking pretty good for myself, and next 1 minute 90 seconds could be looking to take a position.
All right, fair enough. And so just to follow up on that concept in terms of dollar pairs, we asked you guys in the Telegram channel. If we show my screen really quick, I got that poll created. If you guys are not in our Telegram, the link for that just got dropped in the chat. Thank you, Chandler, for doing that. And if you guys want to vote, let's get some house voting on this. We've been doing this on the streams. I think it's really fun, and I think you guys seem to enjoy it. Make sure, again, if you would like to join the Telegram, if you're watching at a later time, you want to participate in the votes, you can use the link in the description. But if you're with us live, join the free Telegram. It's in the chat right now, and you guys can vote on it. So I'm going to lean with Marco, kind of generally speaking, and I think Miko, you as well. For EU, GU, I'm feeling a little bit more bullish on it. I think the dollar, has broken some structure, and we'll see if that does persist. So far, people seem to agree with us. 71% of people are saying bullish. So
is that good or bad?
Yeah, that's the question. Marco. I don't know. You tell me. Yeah. Okay. So cool. The other question I had for you guys last round, I guess, is you guys already know gold is coming down the pipeline. We always got to talk gold for the gold train in the audience. Marco, you're up first. No pressure.
Sure. Okay. So on the 1 hour, we talked about this descending structure, after which I did expect a reversal, and I did get confirmation with these two momentum legs. So I was looking for it to go to the upside a bit more, but now again, momentum has kind of shifted back down with these two legs right here. So these are major legs. Let me just measure it in pips. Yeah, so it's a lot. It's very big when I compare it, especially to the price action. Now, gold does not move in the way that I'm used to, so it does not move like forex most of the time, but it may be just moving in this ascending channel potentially. So something like this bouncing off of these areas. Again, for me personally, I would still have my bias to be to the upside because of this large descending channel. And as we said, kind of the dollar is weakening. So as I'm biased with EU and GU to go up, I would not be surprised if gold does the same. So if we see more upside with gold as well, that would be my bias for this one.
That makes sense, because if you think about it, it's like at the end of the day, they're all kind of denominated in USD. So if that dollar does have a big drop or a big pop, it's gonna cause some movement there. I think, Miko, you're doing your trade, so I don't want to put you on the spot,
Nah,
right?
I've just placed it. I've just placed it. We're in business.
Okay, awesome. So I'll ask you about gold in a second, but if you want to share anything about your concept, was it NZD USD? Is that right?
Yeah, as the USD.
Okay, yeah, I like that close there. Looked really strong.
Yeah, most of my trades are on bullish engulfing candles. That's how I enter my trades. But I've hopped into a position here. My stop loss is just underneath the low here, with a few pips of wiggle room. And I'm looking at targeting this area up here at the origin of that bearish channel there. So looking to catch the breakout on the retest of this area. But I've been pretty bearish on NZD, but slowly been looking to change direction. We're starting to print in some nice higher lows now. We had a nice break of structure, confident retest of that channel and that retest of that high, and a lovely bullish engulfing retest in that level. And DXY, I'm pretty bearish on this guy, although I was expecting to see maybe a retest of this level, but looks like we might just continue lower, or we still could come back for the retest. But yeah, NZUSD's tick the boxes, and a really nice entry signal. So long on that one for roughly a 1 to 2 into the high there. So we'll see how that goes. But in terms of gold, I was also looking for buys on gold, but it's kind of left me behind a little bit. I was looking to see if we can come back and retest the low here. Gold has been printing some nice higher lows, and I was looking to see if we can come back, retest it, and then find the buy. This is kind of what I was talking about on Tuesday. Yeah, it's quite bullish, and it looks like it's leaving behind, and I don't want to buy it now because we're coming close into this level here where some sellers will be sitting. So in terms of my directional bias for gold, I'm still looking at push back to 2K as long as we maintain this bullish structure. So buys are my idea. Therefore, maybe if you can see a confident break of this area and leave that area there behind a little bit, then I'll consider try and find the next high low afterwards. But yeah, still looking at 2K as the next kind of goal.
Okay, fair enough. Well, thank you guys for that. And again, we do these every Thursday, guys. For those of you who are watching with us live, Technical Thursdays. It is Thursday, right? Yeah, it is. I get my days mixed up. You guys came on recently, so I'm getting all whacked out. But you guys also have your own YouTube channels. And for those of you who are watching, again, if you guys want that technical style, very much recommend checking these guys out on their own respective YouTube channel. Final update on that poll, by the way, 71-29 bullish to bearish on our EU and GU concepts. So that'll be interesting to see how that progresses. And again, Marco, well, I guess we'll get an answer as to whether or not being with, it's not necessarily just the whole universal crowd. It's our viewers here, right? So maybe they're a little bit better than just, people, so
yeah.
we
Exactly.
Right.
It's not the retail sentiment, it's the kind of more advanced trader sentiment, right?
Yeah, you got a lot more veterans watching these streams, which is awesome. So thank you to both of you guys. Again, your channels have been linked in the chat. For those of you guys who would like to find Miko and Marco on their own YouTube channels, check out the chat right now. Click that link. Make sure to go subscribe. Watch a few videos. Check them out. Shoot them a message on Telegram, whatever. But with that said, guys, thank you very much for coming on the show. And we'll see you back next week.
Appreciate it.
See you next week.
See you guys.
Bye.
All right, guys, and I think that's going to wrap up the show here today. I know I sometimes there's surprises on the show. Sometimes we get special appearances. You just never know around here, and that's kind of what makes it fun. So thank you to everybody who watches the show. We do appreciate you guys. You make it possible for us to be able to do this show, to hang out with traders each and every day. It is just an absolute blessing to be able to do this. So thank you for hanging out with me, for hanging out with Miko and Marco, and we will see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.
Thanks again for flying with us on the A1 Trader. Our goal at A1 Trading is to give you the latest in market news through our daily videos and articles. Take advantage of our huge Black Friday sale, 45% off, happening all month on our best products we have to offer. A1 Trader, prepare for the return home.